and thank you for joining me. My name is Beata and I'm the CEO of TruScreen, an ASX and NZX listed manufacturer of world-class medical device for cervical cancer screening. You may have heard that the cervical cancer is one of the biggest killers of women, particularly in the lower and middle income countries. And did you know that Australia is a leader in cervical cancer prevention? And that was Professor Ian Fraser, who led a team who invented the original vaccination. TruScreen continues to hold the baton of innovation for Australia. The technology was developed over the last 3 decades in collaboration between academics in the UK and Australia. And today, our world-class technology offers a simple and accurate screening solution with immediate results, thanks to a sophisticated way of examining the cervical tissue and a proprietary AI algorithm. Over the last couple of years, we have grown our global presence, and despite COVID-related pandemic affecting the globe, we made progress increasing sales in existing markets and commencing sales in our new focus markets. At TruScreen, we believe that cervical cancer will become a rare disease by the end of this century. This does sound bold and super ambitious. While no single company can deliver this mission alone, we are proud to contribute with our unique AI-driven, real-time, accurate screening system. Our technology is an ideal fit for those communities that can't have sufficient access to a conventional lab-based screening methods, which are costly and time and resource consuming. In many lower middle income countries, there are no expensive cervical cancer screening programs similar to the Australian National Screening Program. Our technology will enable those who wish to leapfrog and make progress in cervical cancer screening for their societies. It is most important to note that the timing of our technology is excellent. Recently, the Global Health Organization set targets to fight cervical cancer by 2030 via a combination of vaccination, population screening, and management of the existing cervical cancer. Our non-invasive, real-time screening technology fits perfectly into this paradigm of global cervical eradication. So, what have we achieved in the last financial year, 2022? Despite the pandemic hitting the global distribution channels worldwide, I'm proud to say that we have increased device installations by 20% year on year. We enjoyed 29% growth in our biggest and most important market, China. We rolled out a new firmware and commenced sales in Eastern Europe, another focus market. We had 2 large, independently run clinical trials report excellent results for TruScreen, demonstrating performance of our technology being comparable to the gold standard liquid-based cytology in an advanced clinical setting in China and in Australia. In addition, clinical evaluation in Saudi Arabia and Vietnam have been completed, and we are currently awaiting results. We have also added independent world-class international experts to our international expert group, and we have 5 international experts representing 5 continents. Perhaps most importantly though, we have received a Made in China mark. So why is MIC so important? Made in China mark received in financial year 2022 means that our device is viewed as a domestic device in China. Made in China shortens the sales cycle in China and creates a significant barrier of entry for other similar screening devices that may be wishing to enter the Chinese market. Yes, they can still register their product as a novel foreign technology, but they will be caught up in a lengthy and convoluted provincial and central government pricing approval system, and sometimes receive years of delay. To mention some examples of the opportunities we are capitalizing on in this financial year, 2023. We have recently run our first global virtual symposium for key opinion leaders from 7 countries with 132 registrations. The symposium title was a place of advanced technologies in a modern cervical cancer screening. And it enabled healthcare professional discussion on this important topic, but also enabled us to share our excellent results from the independently run large clinical trials I mentioned before. Our device has been implemented in the pilot at the National AIDS Council National Government Screening Program for Cervical Cancer in Zimbabwe. We have completed clinical evaluation in Saudi Arabia and are starting a clinical evaluation program in Serbia. And we have just recently received a Polish University of Technology in Lodz, Poland, Mark of Excellence. Our sales remain in growth, and we are confident that in financial year 2023, we will continue seeing growth despite ongoing global challenges. We also kept our business fit and agile. In financial year 2023, we carried less overhead while retaining the core and key capabilities. We have written off our intangible assets, and very recently, we successfully passed 3 quality audits with no non-conformance, and I'm very proud for the team to have achieved that. How will we deliver on our promise of sales growth? We will focus on driving further utilization of our disposable SAS, single-user sensor, or a sheath covering the probe, in our core established markets, China and Mexico, while growing sales of device as well as the SAS in our key focus markets, Vietnam, Eastern Europe, and Africa. We will continue innovating our product as well as our logistical channels, decreasing our costs and increasing the margin. Please allow me to take you briefly through our financial performance and the strategic focus. We increased the product revenue by 48% year on year, as you can see here, with sales growth of 43% year on year. At the same time, saving costs by 22% for financial year 2023. Our net assets have decreased due to the intangible assets being written off, which I mentioned before. In terms of the business growth and how will we deliver that? We'll drive adoption in key and focus markets. We will continue innovating and reducing costs and make best possible use of our excellent clinical evidence. In particular, we'll drive rollout in our more established markets, China and Mexico. We'll drive adoption in Vietnam and Eastern Europe, as well as Africa, while conducting clinical validation in promising markets and collecting more data. We'll make ongoing improvements and continue innovating and making most of our existing and growing base of clinical evidence, sharing this evidence with key opinion leaders, as well as women, educating and engaging through various platforms, including social media and other channels. On this slide, we're showing why to choose TruScreen over the conventional tests or methods used in many lower and middle income countries. It is absolutely clear that for women, the painless and accurate TruScreen examination with instantaneous results in a place of examination in proximity where the woman lives is of great value. For screening centers, particularly in resource-constrained regions, cost reduction in screening due to reduced utilization of medical personnel and costly pathology and colposcopy infrastructure, the TruScreen device and technology is of great interest. This is exactly what we are seeing already, for example, in mass screening centers in China and Zimbabwe. TruScreen is technology of the near future, and I'm confident that with the WHO strategy and renewed focus of many lower and middle income countries on cervical cancer screening, TruScreen is very well poised for success. So with that, thank you for listening. Do look us up on TruScreen.com. Thank you.